The San Francisco Bay Area has one of the most expensive housing markets in the country. But from electric vehicle incentives to pioneering recycling policies, it's also known as one of the greenest local economies. Combine that together, and that's fuel for a tiny home boom. This 9-meter-long ADU, or accessory dwelling unit, is delivered and installed straight into a backyard in just a few hours. William Pineros paid around $115,000 for this tiny home and says it would have cost twice as much if it was constructed on site from scratch.
They build many of those houses. They have a proper setup and they're able to create economy of scale.
So what makes this very special is that we actually get to build this unit at our factory. It saves a lot of time. Also noise with the neighbors. They don't get to listen to the noise and all that stuff.
Pacifica Tiny Home says that means the process is faster and more energy efficient with less pollution. It also builds standalone tiny homes with wheels for as low as $40,000.
A lot of people have also realized that now that they live on a tiny home, that they didn't need this huge house.
It's also a booming market for other players like Harmony Communities, which sells homes in about a dozen tiny home communities across California. At this one in the city of Gilroy, a half-hour drive from Silicon Valley, workers are busy installing solar panels.
A big component of these tiny home communities are that you're able to install this solar and make it carbon neutral. It plays a really large part in offsetting climate change. And you're not consuming nearly as much power in a smaller footprint home like that.
And inside one of Harmony Community's latest models, you can see the creative use of space here as I head around through the kitchen, past the bathroom, and up some stairs. This actually splits into 2 lofts, which leave plenty of space for sleeping or resting. Just make sure not to bump your head.
Tim LUJAN says he finds a tiny home the perfect fit.
If you do try to find a home like anywhere in California, it's just really expensive. To me, it's a big change because I never seen a tiny home, never heard about it until these came in, and after I started looking in here, I was like, honestly, this would be something I'd move into. It feels more like a home.
Your blue collar workforce, they can't afford the housing options that are available to them on their salaries. So if they can make do with a smaller footprint, they can actually have a life-changing experience.
Davies says while high-salaried tech workers often work remotely, blue-collar workers need to show up in person, which in some instances means a several-hour drive. But he says with affordable tiny home communities popping up close to big cities, more tiny home residents will be able to improve their own quality of life while mitigating the negative impact on the environment. Mark New, CGTN, Gilroy, California.